OKC takes down San Antonio 127-114 in a game that the Thunder completely dictated. Not from the very start, because Wembanyama always wins the tip-off. He always wins the jump. As soon as he got the ball after winning that tip, then OKC took over and just ran that game from beginning to end. That's how each game keeps going. That's how each win keeps coming. Your turn. My turn. Your turn. My turn. Your turn. My turn. I mean, an absolute masterclass in forcing San Antonio into one difficult shot after another. And I said before that the one thing San Antonio can't do is have a game where we're watching and thinking, wow, Wembanyama is barely involved and it's already the third quarter. And that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. And you can see the difference. OKC had a purpose and a plan on every possession. San Antonio looked like they were just playing a scrimmage, like a pickup game. Night and day difference. And then finally, this is what I've been screaming for, Alex Caruso getting his minutes, his shots, his buckets. 22 points. And then again, Jared McCain hitting open shots, taking the open looks, and notice how he missed all the tough ones and made all the easy ones, because right now he's not a superstar. Maybe one day, but right now he's a role player. That's why I wanted to see the emphasis on Caruso. But I still think Caruso needs to be emphasized even more. Again, just look at the box score, 28 minutes, 22 points, 5-4. 10 shooting, 4 for 8 from 3, plus 18. That's still the guy I'm expecting to step up given some of the injuries they've had. Jared McCain was a +3, SGA was +8. Hartenstein, who's been awesome, +24. And Chet Holmgren came out aggressive. And what I liked about that was it's almost like a really great plan of, we don't need Chet to be aggressive the entire game. He doesn't need to go hard start to finish, but in the beginning, make your presence felt. Be physical. Be tough. Get after it. In a lot of ways, it's like when Hartenstein was defending Wembanyama in that one game where everyone said, oh my god, they're fouling him, and I was just kind of like, that's kind of the plan, we're telling Hartenstein to be really, really aggressive, and if you foul out, you foul out. I'm just going to trust you to play in foul trouble, but get away with as much as you possibly can, right? Just do that. It's going to help us in the long run. Even if we get some extra fouls because we know not every single foul is going to be called. It's playoff basketball. You just have to explore and find the line. You have to figure out what you can get away with. It's a feel-out process. It's almost like seeing Chet Holmgren do the offensive version of that, not because of fouling or anything like that, but just a level of we want you to attack. We want you to be aggressive. We need your presence known from the jump. From the jump. And that's exactly what they did. And then it allows SGA to settle into the game. It takes the pressure off Hartenstein needing to make every single one of his little push shots. Takes the pressure off Dort to hit his shots. McCain hit his shots. Caruso, right? It just lets some more air into the arena. And that's exactly what they did. Every time Caruso hit a bucket, I was like, yes. This is what I'm saying. He is so hot right now. And he always makes the right play. That's the thing about Caruso, man. He always makes the right play. Always, always, always. I can't even say that about SGA. I can't say that about Chet or Hartenstein. I can't say that about McCain or Dort. Can't say that about anyone on the court, honestly, including San Antonio, except for Caruso. The man just always makes the right play. His basketball IQ is off the charts. It's why LeBron James loves him. And in these types of games, in this series, I want to see OKC lean on him more. And they did. They absolutely positively did. I mean, the game wasn't getting out of reach by any stretch, but it seemed like, oh man, is San Antonio about to take this game by the reins? And insert Alex Caruso, immediately hits a shot, right? Immediately. There was a really tough pass that he was able to save and immediately find the open shooter. He just has such a high IQ. Really, really impressive and always so fun to watch. Honestly, one of my favorite players to watch is Alex Caruso. And of course SGA being really great. Shooting night, 2-for-3 from 3. I didn't think there were really any forced shots. That's the thing. Ironically, I only saw a handful of forced shots from McCain. Really no one else, for that matter. Everyone else seemed really intentional about finding the open shooter, really finding their spots on offense. Whereas on the flip side, forced shot after forced shot after forced shot. And that's the thing with Wembanyama. When he doesn't get going early in the game, he starts forcing up shots. And in a lot of ways, he was removed from this game. If you didn't know who Wembanyama was, and if he didn't stand out so much just because of his size, you'd be like, yeah, he's a pretty good player. His impact was completely removed. Not only was he not in the paint on offense, but even on defense, he was kind of taken out of that game as well. I mean, he had 6 rebounds, 20 points, and only 4 field goals. He's out there shooting threes, 0-4-5, right? This is the exact type of ball that OKC wants San Antonio to play. And this is a great win considering you're down 2 main players, especially one truly main player. And to be able to win this game 127-114 after, again, the game before, OKC was dominated, just straight up controlled and run off the court, SGA didn't even play the fourth quarter. And to be able to bounce back with this, what was it, 60-something points in the first half compared to 38 points. Because the offense was intentional, high quality, high purse. Made shots. And this game to me was way more about execution. It wasn't the hustle plays. It wasn't the extra effort. It was execution and a game plan. OKC clearly had a game plan. They clearly understood what they wanted to do offensively and what they expected to see defensively. There was a moment when SGA, even down the stretch when the game was still kind of close, there was a play where SGA drew 2 defenders and was able to find Hartenstein underneath. When you watched that play unfold, you knew it was going to happen, right? They were just waiting for it. It was very football-based. Okay, we know we're hot. We know we have a free runner at the quarterback, which means our tight end is wide open underneath. Completely intentional. And even when San Antonio hit back and the game got to within 7 or 8 points, okay, we're in it right now, OKC had an answer immediately. This series is absolutely, you're the better team, you win. And as I always say, it's not how a lot of these games unfold. It's not always that the team that wins automatically played better. Sometimes a team is just really cold. Sometimes a team was a little better down the stretch and caught fire in the fourth quarter. But it has absolutely felt like the winner of each game has been in control for essentially the entire contest, and the other team just feels completely out of sorts. And San Antonio was really out of sorts. But what I appreciate about what OKC did is that it wasn't just that. San Antonio was out of sorts, it wasn't just that Wemby couldn't get going. Again, OKC had an intention, a game plan. I wish I had timestamped that one play because to me it highlighted it most, SGA reading the defense like a quarterback, understanding exactly what they were going to do, and knowing Hartenstein was open underneath. Touchdown, right? That's really what it felt like to me. You could really see the intention. And basketball a lot of times feels like it's freestyle, like pickup. But that's not how basketball is played at the NBA level, possession to possession, especially in the fourth quarter of the playoffs or the third quarter. There's always going to be some freestyle nature to basketball compared to other sports. But when you see the game plan, when you see the intention, when you see the maturity of this is what I'm expecting, and then I'm going to execute based on that expectation, that's the game you get right here from OKC. That is absolutely what you get from OKC. And that's why some of these games I enjoy putting in my memory bank as ones that transcend the whole make or miss notion. Because again, sometimes you can have a stretch where it's just this team was making their shots and this team wasn't. Sometimes that is genuinely the analysis. But the reality is that OKC was making more shots because they were playing better offense, and San Antonio was missing more shots because they were playing worse offense, and OKC's defense was a big part of it. Some of it was definitely self-inflicted, some of Wembanyama's issues are a bit self-inflicted, but Hartenstein, Chet, Caruso also deserve a lot of credit. So Game 6 will be fascinating. From an entertainment perspective, I'm about to lose all these OKC fans. I hope San Antonio wins because Game 7 has the potential to be awesome, or honestly it has the potential to look exactly like this. That's the thing. This is what I said in my Knicks video. In a lot of ways, if you're a Knicks fan, you're hoping to face the Spurs. I think the Spurs are awesome, But you're hoping to face them because there's just a greater likelihood that San Antonio becomes completely disconnected in a way that OKC is able to show their maturity, experience, and resiliency, like they've been here before. At this point, it's just another game for them. That's why this game was actually a lot more important for San Antonio, because I trust OKC to lose Game 5 and then have to win the next two, whereas San Antonio now has to win the next two. They can't just go 1-for-1, whereas OKC can. There's just going to be more trust for OKC in that moment. They've earned that right. They deserve that. They own it. The way San Antonio gets it is by showing right now, win Game 6 and Game 7. And obviously OKC is like, nah, we're good on that. You don't need to show that. But yeah, really high-level basketball by OKC. The free throw merchants themselves, the floppers themselves, we'll see. I'm obviously being sarcastic. I'm interested to see if we can actually just have a real basketball conversation tomorrow without it slipping into whatever it's been with OKC all season. Also, if OKC or San Antonio, but especially OKC, make the finals, be prepared for every single person to root against you. Because all of a sudden, everyone's a big New York fan. Everybody wants the celebrities to win, Jalen Brunson, KAT, all that. They have the storyline behind them in a way that OKC doesn't. San Antonio at least has the Wembanyama storyline, this young team, and Pop, his career coming to an end, his health, and all that. So I feel like more people would want to see San Antonio take down New York. But if it's OKC versus New York, there's going to be a lot of energy. Reggie Miller even kind of said, I think New York will be favored. We'll see. Hopefully all the J-Dubs and J-Wills can be healthy. But those are just my thoughts. We still have to get through Game 6 and potentially Game 7. I'm hoping for Game 7. I said that before the playoffs even started, if you're a true basketball fan, you want a 7-game series between OKC and San Antonio. Game 7? Oh my gosh. Again, sorry OKC fans, but I want a Game 7. I'm here for the action, the fun, the entertainment, the history. Game 7. And it'll be in OKC. So they'll be rocking there. We shall see. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you think about OKC taking down San Antonio? How did this game land for you? What were the differences between Game 5 and Game 4? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. Whether you agree or disagree, let's get into some discussions, some arguments, but ultimately just have some fun. And please consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here and I'd love to see you part of it. I want to build something we all feel connected to, something we're excited to be part of. We're well on our way. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, it really helps with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.